In this video presentation, we're going to take a look at setting the white ink for a file in Job Editor. Before I begin, I need to ensure that I'm using a media that contains a white ink setting, and I have that selected in the upper right corner for my media type. Next, I'll open the file in Job Editor. I'll make my selection of my choices, open with Job Editor. In this example, we're going to print on a clear media, and we need to put a white flood fill behind this file. So again, we want to make sure that we're selecting a media choice that contains a white ink. Our next step is to go to the Color Correction tab. Again, here we can see spot 1, which is representing the white ink, and this is just a display color of yellow. Going to go to the Tools button choice, and I'm going to select Spot Layer Tool. The Spot Layer Tool feature allows us to place or identify where the white ink will be in the file in the case that it has not been designed in the file. In this example, this file does not contain a spot color for white or a spot channel for white, so I need to designate and identify where that white area will be. So in my spot layer tool, I'm going to enable spot layer generation. You'll notice the spot layer channel that we're working with is called spot 1, which may also be named white or could be silver. That name would be determined at the point when we are generating the profile. Now we'll notice that the setting is to none and we see no effect. However, in this pull down window, I can choose my flood fill. And now we see the display color of yellow, which is representing our spot 1 white ink. We'll do a flood fill of this whole entire graphic. I have other choices. If I need to select fill the image area, it's only going to put that white or spot 1 record behind the image information. Conversely, I can select fill non-image area. And again, this is going to fill everything where there is no image information in the file. So at this point, I'm going to go back to my flood fill option and submit my job to the RIP. Let's take a look at another example. I'm going to open another file in Job Editor and perform the similar steps of the spot layer tool to designate a flood fill for white. So I'll start out in my Color Correction tab, go to Tools, Spot Layer Tool, enable my spot layer generation feature, and set this for my flood fill. So it is very easy to designate the white ink or spot ink flood fill controls if the file does not have that spot color identified in it. Now I would submit my job to the RIP and print the file. If you would like to automate this process, we can export a filter to control the flood fill settings. To do this, I'm going to select Filter, I'm going to select Manager, and now I'm going to export out these conditions as a filter. Save my changes to the file, yes. Now I would browse to a directory where I want to place this filter. In my example, I'm going to place this to the samples folder of the RIP software. I have a folder identified that I created as color filters, and I'm going to save this in that folder. I would name this something appropriate. I'll call it white flood fill and save this out. Now I'll close and OK, and I'm finished with exporting out that filter for the white flood fill data. I'm going to go ahead and submit this job to the RIP. Now we see our completed file. Let's take a look at importing that filter, applying it as a quick set, and then talk about automating our processes. To create a quick set, we're going to select Configure Printer. Our first tab is our quick sets, and we are going to select New. We'll name this quick set something appropriate. To import the filter, we're going to go to the Advanced button in the lower left corner of the menu, select Color Correction, and then import that filter. Browse to the location, select the filter and open it. Note we have to select the filter, click OK, and OK again. Now we've made a quick set that's going to perform that task of a flood fill for the white ink. This is going to automate our process, and we won't have to do this manually in Job Editor. Let's go through that automated task. At this point, I would just say Open, select one of my files, choose that quick set. No need to go to Job Editor. That quick set's going to apply the conditions for a flood fill and open the file into the RIP and process. And now we see our completed files ready to print.